Just in case there was any doubt about how cold it is, it really did get down to 30 degrees the last night. And this is one of the reasons I don't like mornings, because it's often the coldest part of the day.
He is the Tinfoil Chef, a man with a video love.
Hey YouTube, how's it going? Well, it's actually warmed up a little bit today. It's something like 55 degrees out here, which ironically enough actually makes it a little bit warmer than it is inside right now. I'm probably going to cure that a little bit. I'm going to bake up some biscuits or bread or something, and that'll give me a good excuse to have the oven running for a while. And no, I don't like running the oven when I'm not actually using it, because that just it's making the electric meter spin like crazy, and it's really not good when you can actually forget that it's running. I don't like the idea of doing that. I have to say that I owe a thank you to 3 people out there who have donated so far, and they've done so to the combined tune of 10% of the goal, which is $100 right now, and I appreciate that very much. It is helping a huge lot, and it gives me hope that I will actually have heat in the house this winter. This is a very good thing. In a related note, I have noticed that the chip-in widget for some reason is not updating. It still shows 0 the last time I looked at it. And I went looking around on the chip-in site to see if I could find anything out about this, and apparently this happens occasionally for who knows how long at a time, and then after a while it starts to update. So I don't know what the deal is with that. Presumably it will start to update, but whether it does or no, I feel I owe it to y'all to keep you updated on the progress, so I will keep track of it myself, whether it updates or not. Because if it fails to update now, it may fail to update in the future, and who knows? That just wouldn't be good. Anyway, in other news, after I get this video taken care of, I'm going to be working on a new episode of Remembering Beta for the Self One channel. And after that, I will be working on a new episode of Kerbal Space Program, which will be uploaded either later tonight or tomorrow morning. And for this channel, I'm working on another of the extended videos known as Beyond the Foil. Now, I did kind of back off of doing that for a while, because it occurred to me I was doing Beyond the Foil almost every day or almost every time I made a video, and it struck me that that wasn't quite right, because Beyond the Foil, the way I kind of envision it, is that it is a longer format, more in-depth kind of thing, and I don't know, I think maybe I was just overusing it. And to have something like that come out once a week or every couple of weeks is, I think, probably more appropriate for it. And easier on the editing and dealing with monster upload times because of large files and so on. Anyway, on another note, during my live stream last night, I loaded up an old version of Minecraft, beta 1.7.3, and made a new world and started walking around in that. Partly, but largely because I was really kind of feeling a little nostalgic about the old style terrain generation that was used in 1.7.3, because the terrain generation algorithms have changed since then, and I've always thought that the terrain generated back then was so much more epic and so on. And I got to doing that and just looking around at some really incredibly awesome terrain. And, you know, the whole thing, of course, naturally, the fact that all I was doing was just walking around looking at the terrain, it just kind of put me in mind of Kurt J. Mac and the Firelands or Bust video series. And probably most Minecrafters will be familiar with Firelands or Bust, in which he has been walking since sometime last year, March or April of 2011. He's been walking to the Firelands, which is a point. The Firelands is caused by a kind of a glitch in the terrain generation algorithms because it's using 32-bit numbers. And when you get far enough out away from the center of the map, then those numbers don't work out as accurately as they're supposed to, and it causes all kinds of really weird, strange things to happen in the terrain generation. And it's, by all reports and a few videos I've seen, really awesome stuff. And he set out to walk there. And you see, the idea is that it's been calculated that if you were to start walking and do nothing but walk forward in Minecraft for as long as it took to get there, it would take you 820 hours if you did nothing but just keep going forward. He's been doing this for a long time. Now, granted, he doesn't quite walk straight forward. He doesn't make that kind of excellent progress. He takes constant detours to look at awesome terrain and strange things that are going on and so on, and just scenery in general. And so he's not making that kind of progress, but I recently added up how much time he spent doing that. He's been, between all of his LP videos, between his LP videos and several live stream events that he's done in that world, he spent a total of about, I think it's a little over 110 hours walking in one direction. And he has gone over, well, by now, almost certainly well over 800,000 blocks. That's a long ways in Minecraft. And, okay, the point of this whole long side issue thing is that because I was looking around in that terrain, I've been kind of thinking I wanted to do something in 1.7.3 because I do miss seeing that terrain all the time. And then there was something else that occurred to me. You see, right now I'm doing something with this chip-in widget to try to raise some funds for my own personal needs, because I need to be able to heat the house for the winter and all that good happy stuff. But it occurs to me that if I'm doing that for myself, there's no reason I couldn't do that for something else, like to raise money for some worthy cause. Now, on Firelands or Bust, Kurt J. Mac is raising money for the Child's Play charity, which they work to get books and games into the hands of kids in hospitals, to take their mind off of why they're there or how long they're going to be there and things like that. And it's a very worthy charity, and he's raised a huge amount of money for it. And all by just playing Minecraft and walking and talking. And so I was thinking, there's no reason I couldn't do something like that. And before anybody jumps up and down and screams, "You're copying," well, for one thing, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. And for another thing, I've been watching a lot of Firelands or Bust, and there are occasions when people ask him flat out, "Do you mind if I do something like what you're doing?" And he doesn't have the least little bit of problem with it. He's very clear that he doesn't own the concept of walking for a long time and talking in Minecraft. And the only thing he says is just don't call it Firelands or Bust. But that's not a problem, because a name has been suggested to me, and I would say who suggested it, but I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm sorry. speak up in the comments and say you suggested it if you did. How about that? The name being Beyond the Horizon, because clearly, if you're walking that far, you are definitely going beyond the horizon, almost to the infinite and beyond. Anyway, what I would like to know is, what do you think of this idea? And do you have suggestions for a worthy cause to raise funds for? Now, I would want it to be something that I could, like, basically take their donation email address and set up a chip-in widget so that any donations made through it would go directly to the charity and none of it would ever see me. You know, that way there's no doubt that I'm not messing around with it or doing improper things with funds donated for something else. So let me know in the comments what you think of the idea, what sort of a charity you think would be a good one to go for, whether it be Child's Play or whatever other charities. I don't honestly have any ideas myself right now. I know there are a zillion charities and most of them are worthy. And so that's where I'm sitting at right now, aside from sitting in my carport with the camera facing over there at the yard next door, because it's sort of tolerable right now, and well, at least with this coat on it is. I don't tolerate the cold the way I used to. I used to walk around in a t-shirt and shorts in January. It didn't feel it at all. It didn't bother me in the least, and people look at me like I was crazy. And now I feel it a whole lot more than I used to 10 years ago. Oh boy. Anyway, I've already rattled on for over 11 minutes, and Sir Gorf still has something to say. So, let me know what you think in the comments. Take it easy. I'm out of here.
He is the tinfoil chef, and the frog just doesn't give a shit.
Hello, it's Monday, October the 29th. Something the boob didn't think to mention in his rather long ramble is that he has yet to decide if the proposed Beyond the Horizon series will be on his Self One channel or on this channel. He is, after all, nearing the end of his second YouTube orbit, and this sort of combined gameplay and vlogging style might be a good fit to take the place of the orbit. Of course, nothing is decided yet. However, your input would no doubt be helpful. It would also keep him paying attention to comments instead of pestering me quite so much. The previous question of the day: what would a politician look like if it was transformed to look like its record of telling the truth? Today's question of the day: what is your favorite charity? There are 4 new subscribers: Dweezil, All Gaming Vids 21, and 2 more people that the new subscriber notification email identified only as a new user. Welcome, and thank you very much for subscribing. The dirty word of the day: snack.
Mr. TinFoilChef.